What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on ESPN with a 10-team full PPR mock where we will be selecting third overall. Should be pretty interesting. And while we wait for this thing to kick off, a quick reminder, if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree with these picks, along with any other questions you guys might have? We'll do our best to answer them all. But with that being said, let's get into it. The first pick will be made shortly here. I anticipate we're probably going to see McCaffrey followed by CeeDee Lamb as the first two picks. If it's anything else, then, I guess I'll be happy to take the leftovers. But right now, what I'm thinking at this point in time, wowza. Well, let me get back to what I was thinking in a little bit. The reason I say wow is because Breece Hall was just selected ahead of Christian McCaffrey. I don't have too many issues with that. I have Breece Hall as my number 2 running back, but I still would be having Christian McCaffrey as the 101 10 times out of 10. I think he's just going to be more involved as a pass catcher, is everything. But let's go, I guess, CeeDee Lamb. I was ready to go on a whole tangent of, should we go Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase or, another wide receiver with our first pick, that being the third pick overall. But there's some crazy things happening here, and I'm kind of glad because it's, adding some unexpected highlights to this breakdown. So obviously Breece Hall going 101 was the biggest surprise. Then Christian McCaffrey. Then we went CeeDee Lamb. What I was going to say at the start of the video was I feel like I've done so many mocks where if I'm picking towards the first part of the draft, I go running back because I feel like those guys are misvalued. And I still really value that position. I think it's key for success. We saw it in McCaffrey last year, and I don't think Bijan or Breece Hall are that far behind him. But because I know so many people are going to go with the wide receiver approach early on, and just to switch things up a little bit, I was going to say I'll do that. And again, I was ready to say, should it be Tyreek? Should we have a conversation about Jamar Chase? I feel like I haven't given Jamar Chase enough love lately, but I definitely believe in him without Tyler Boyd, tied to Joe Burrow. But let's look at these other picks because really interesting. Tyreek goes after us, then Kyren Williams ahead of Bijan Robinson. And that's interesting. Maybe that's somebody that's looking at the production from last year. And if that's the case, Kyren Williams being selected there kind of makes sense. Like, I think Kyren Williams would be a first-round selection if Corum wasn't drafted to the Rams. But him drafted that early, I got to say that's the first time I've seen that. Then Bijan Robinson goes 106, followed by some names that had kind of slipped. Like, I've never seen Amon-Ra or Jamar Chase go that late, but that's what happens when, Kyren and Breece Hall are selected beforehand. But let's look at the players we have available. We went with CeeDee Lamb, so naturally, we've got our wide receiver position taken care of. I'm on the clock, and I want to go a running back. I want to go a high upside PPR running back. I'm going to go with Travis Etienne here, but let's look at the second round pick history because the first round, it was mostly names that we know, but they were just kind of slotted down a little bit more so because of the craziness at the start. So Amon-Ra 7, Jamar Chase 8, Justin Jefferson 9, AJ Brown 10. Then we have Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Garrett Wilson with the third pick in the second round. That's why I really, really like picking towards the end of drafts this year. I feel like you can get 2 stud playmakers really easily. Granted, this is a 10-team league. Then Puka Nacua, Michael Pittman ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs. Was not expecting that. He is ranked a little bit higher on the ESPN board for what it's worth, but damn, we were only 2 picks away from having Jahmyr Gibbs fall to us. That would have been bananas, and I would have said game over. We've got the best start to this draft. Devontae Adams went after Gibbs. Then we kind of had to look at another running back. We went with Etienne. Then Mike Evans went, followed by Derrick Henry. I know Derrick Henry is going to have touchdown success, but he's not going to catch the ball. He's older. Lamar Jackson is going to take away opportunities. So for that reason, I'd rather look elsewhere, especially in a full PPR league. And, right now, this might come back to bite me, but I'm a big believer in Drake London. I know more than likely if I go Drake London here, which I will, then Kamara, Rashad White, Josh Jacobs won't fall to me. But, you know, let's see. Let's play the game. I can get a maybe a Kenneth Walker and Aaron Jones later on and still be okay. So, looking at the pick history here now in the second round, or I guess I should say after that Derrick Henry selection concluded the second round and starting the third, Marvin Harrison with the first pick in the third. I I do think Marvin Harrison should be ranked lower. I've said that before. Even at this current ADP, like Drake London was also right there. I passed up Marvin Harrison to get Drake London. I'm a bigger believer in London than I am in Marvin Harrison. But I do think that at this current ADP here, towards the end of the second, early third, I am going to have more stock of Marvin Harrison compared to other platforms where you see him drafted in the first, start of the second. Then after Marvin Harrison, Joe Mixon. We went with Drake London. We kind of highlighted that. Isaiah Pacheco, Devon A-Chain. So I feel like with A-Chain, he's a name that I need to bring up because either the fantasy community is all in on him or they're out. I am the latter. I'm out simply because I could see a world where Miami, Mostert's still the starting guy. I could see a world where, A-Chain, the efficiency, the home run hitting ability doesn't translate 1-to-1 like it did last year to 2024. And that's what worries me about him and his high draft cost because, again, look, he's an early third round selection. He could easily be a second round selection. Then Rashad White. Like Rashad White, I would have taken ahead of Devon A-Chain. Honestly, I would have taken Alvin Kamara ahead of Devon A-Chain. Brendan Ayuk then goes, followed by Chris Olave. Good value on Chris Olave. He was available to us in the start of the third as well. Then Kamara, then Stephon Diggs. Pacheco is ranked higher here on the ESPN board. He went with the fourth pick in the third round. I get it. He's on a tremendous offense, and they're going to be scoring a lot of points. So there is that. I can get on board with him. Then in the fourth round, Josh Jacobs. So unfortunately, Jacobs doesn't fall to us. Kenneth Walker doesn't fall to us. Travis Kelce lasts until, wow, he lasted all the way until the fourth round? That's pretty crazy. So let me double check. I believe Sam Laporta hasn't been drafted yet. There's no way he's going to make it to us. He does make it to us. Huh. Okay. Well, we've got something to consider here now, don't we? I was not expecting that. So, hell, let's get the tight end advantage. I was going to say Trey McBride. I could target him in the later rounds, but I guess I'll take Sam Laporta at the end of the fourth. That's pretty good value in my opinion. And then we can hopefully get who should I look at running back wise? Aaron Jones. Should I jump the gun on him here a little bit and select him now? I might potentially because I really, really don't like these other running backs that are left. Well, Ramondre Stevenson was the main name ahead of him, and that situation scares me in New England. I could see them being a team that really struggles, and New England's typically not a squad where you have one elite running back year after year after year. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a scary situation. Mahomes was just drafted. I'm not going to lie to you. I was definitely thinking about Mahomes there. This is a 10-team league. Getting the positional advantages, there's something to be said about that. Nico Collins right now is a tremendous value. Nico Collins right now is screaming to be selected by me. Jalen Hurts as well. But we got to go. You know what? All right, I'm going to punt. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Nico Collins. And I'm going to go with the best, non-quarterback player available. Nico Collins, huge upside. A lot of people are kind of split on the wide receiver room in Houston. I understand that. Collins got paid this offseason. I think he's going to continue to be utilized like the one guy, like the number one guy there. He shouldn't be available at the start of the 5th round. So I think also that was part of the reason why I wanted to select him. Like, okay, let's stop that fall. That's pretty outrageous. And yeah, we'll probably miss out on Aaron Jones. So we're going to have to look elsewhere. But it is what it is. Let's recap the 4th round. Again, I got completely blindsided by the fact that Laporta was there for us. So Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Kelsey, DJ Moore, James Cook. James Cook would have been tempting. Deebo Samuel, Josh Allen, the first quarterback. Yes, I believe so. Then we went Sam Laporta, DK Metcalf, Ramondre Stevenson. Then Trey McBride. So to be fair, McBride didn't last too much longer. Patty Mahomes. Again, he would have been tempting for me if I really wanted to get aggressive on a 10-team league where I get 2 potential top-tier guys at quarterback and tight end. Getting those positional advantages means a little bit more here, since a lot of these teams are going to be top-heavy. But again, we didn't really have that option. We went with Nico Collins. And yeah, just like I said, Aaron Jones was selected. I knew that would happen. I knew basically what I was doing when I decided to select Nico and not address that running back 2 spot. I'm going to be taking a lot of other running backs here, basically is what it comes down to. In the 5th round, though, after a Nico Collins pick, you saw Cooper Kupp. He was also tempting, but, I mean, I think Collins has some higher upside. Then Devonta Smith, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Jalen Hurts, also very tempting. I was looking at him. I'm on the clock. Zamir White was going to be my pick either way, but you can see he's the suggested selection. And, I mean, yeah, like, I need running backs, folks. We're going Zamir White here. I'm not thinking too much about it. So there we go. We added Zamir White. He's our running back 2. Don't love that. So we might be taking another running back here pretty shortly. Somebody like a James Conner. Yeah. Or a DeAndre Swift maybe. You know, we'll see. George Pickens just got selected. That made my choice easier. Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, I'm okay waiting. If CJ Stroud was there, I probably would have taken him to pair him with Nico Collins, but he was selected. Where did he go? He went a little bit before us. He went a little bit before our Zamir White pick. 2 picks before. But we're on the clock here again. And I think that going James Conner makes a lot of sense. Getting just more depth at the running back position. We need to do that after we waited so long to fill our RB2 spot. So that's kind of a result of circumstance, right? But let's quickly recap the 5th round. I think we left off with Jalen Hurts being selected towards the end of the 5th. Great value there. Tank Dell, then Jalen Waddle. 6th round, Aaron Jones. Hurt to see. You know, I do think his best years are probably behind him, but I think he's got one more year in Minnesota. He's going to be the primary guy, and he was efficient when used by Green Bay. You know, he's going to catch the ball well, so I do believe in Aaron Jones. Then Anthony Richardson. What else? Yeah, Jonathan Brooks, David Montgomery. I do like Jonathan Brooks, but I wasn't in a position where I could select him knowing that he's not going to start out the year as the main guy. Like, Jonathan Brooks is a long-term play for fantasy this year. Let's just get that out of the way. Then Montgomery, Calvin Ridley, CJ Stroud, Dalton Kincaid. We want Zamir White, hopefully a guy that can pan out, being the top guy without Josh Jacobs. Then Zay Flowers, George Pickens went. Pickens would have been tempting for us in the 7th round. Dak Prescott, George Kittle, we went with James Conner because of our running back situation. Then DeAndre Swift, Amari Cooper, Evan Ingram, Burrow, Jalen Warren, Kyle Pitts, Jake Ferguson. In the 8th round, Tua, Malik Neighbors, Chris Godwin, Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, David Njoku, and T. Higgins. Now here, you know, I'm looking at these names. Let's look at running back. I'm going to select a guy that I think, let's see, he's still there. Yeah, he's still there. Zach Moss. Another running back we're adding to the list. Now I feel better about my running back situation. We've got ETN, we've got White, we've got James Conner, we've got Zach Moss. And even though we waited until the later rounds for running back to fill out that rotation, what I can say is all of our 4 guys are all starters. They are all the starters on their team, and that at least makes me feel good. And I do have some depth there in case there are injuries. So now we can probably just select a quarterback here and kind of be done with this, right? Like, we can be, for the most part, with the majority of our roster taken care of. Yeah, go Kyler Murray, high upside quarterback, and then we can back him up with somebody like a, Aaron Rodgers, something like that. Most of the people are on auto pick either way, so no need to drag this on too much longer. Murray does have some rushing upside as well, and then if we really wanted to, James Conner, Kyler Murray, a little bit of a mini stack there. That's not too expensive, so I don't mind the way this turned out. I think we're absolutely loaded to wide receiver. We've got a great positional advantage at tight end with Laporta, assuming he picks up where he left off. And then at running back, we might not have like a bona fide top 5 guy, but I think ETN, again, solid player last year for fantasy purposes, good in PPR, and then we've got some potential breakouts with Zamir White, with Zach Moss, all starters. That's what I like to see. Let's queue up some players potentially here. Somebody like a Ladd McConkey, Keon Coleman. At quarterback, a Aaron Rodgers. As a backup, running back, Raheem Mostert, not a bad play at this point in time. So, yeah, just wanted to highlight some names here because, again, so many people on auto pick at this point in time. I think we can kind of wrap this thing up. The majority of our roster is complete, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Agree, disagree with these picks. Do you like the squad? If you have any questions, let me hear them. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.